Hi, Vincent. Nice to see you.
Hi there. Good to see you.
Look, first off, I feel like every week the games get bigger. Last season, you only lost one game at home in the league. This season, you've only won one game at home in the league. What's happened at Turf Moor this season?
It's a different league. I think the easiest way to say it is last season, this season. It's just a different league, and but it doesn't take away the fact that we'd like to win at home. We'd like to win more. We've been close a few times, and Saturday is an opportunity for us.
You talk about the closeness, and now dropped 20 points from winning positions this season. When you look at the table, do you think what could have been?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been said it's the hardest thing is to score the first goal, and that's not been a problem for us. But I think this season, I don't know, you guys have maybe looked into the statistics more than I have for this, but it looks like it's a strikers' league at the moment. I don't think we're any exception to that, and teams in this league, and that makes it also the best league in the world, in my opinion. Teams find a way to score, and we have to do the same and score more.
Has that been the biggest problem? Is that your biggest frustration, I suppose, this season, just not scoring enough goals? No,
and I wouldn't express it as frustration. I think we've gone through this, and we got on with stuff, and it's just, when you are where you are, you could name a number of things and you can start listing things out. I don't think that's the point for us right now. We've been close, but not been able to get the points over the line, and that's all we have to focus on now.
You do have a forward in good form in David Datro Fofana. Just how good is he?
Just allow me to make that statement a little bit later, but he's on track for where he's at in his age, and obviously the fact that Chelsea bought him is because they must have thought he was a big talent. I followed him some time before actually he went to Chelsea, so I knew him. I spoke to him before, and it was nice to pick it up. And actually, we just needed his profile, so it's been good for us. But whatever he did against West Ham, we'll need. If he's done it once and he played well against Liverpool as well, we'll need it another 10 times. There's no other way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Vincent.
Hi there.
Are there any fresh injury concerns ahead of the game at the weekend? And also an update on Hanno Masengo and also Jordan Bayer?
No fresh injury concerns. Maybe a few positive surprises. We'll see. And no, most of the players that have been important for us this season are close to return, are doing well, and hopefully the international break will kind of sort of see our squad bolster again.
Into the last 10 games of the season, what is it that you want to see from your players in the remaining games?
Not too dissimilar from the Bournemouth and the West Ham performance, and my thing is we need the 3 points. We need goals. We need to win games, but I can't sit here and say that the lads haven't given everything. Sometimes they've come short, and sometimes it's because we haven't played well. But most of the time they've given everything, and it's been close. So these type of situations, they can often turn. You can turn misfortune into something that gives you results, and we just have to do everything we can, at least mentally, to believe that moment can be tomorrow.
Defeats last time you met Brentford. What did you take learnings wise from that game?
Yeah, that was one of the bad games we played this season, and it was I think it was one of the turning points as well. I don't know if Bournemouth was before or after we went away to Bournemouth as well, but definitely there were 2 bad games for us, and after that I think every game except for the Palace and Arsenal performance, we competed in every game since those games, and I think we changed our intensity a little bit. We changed a few things as well tactically. We sharpened up. It's not given us enough results, but it got us in games, and it got us a few results, and hopefully it'll show that we've progressed from that day.
When the goals have come for you this season, 85% of them have been from open play. Would you like to see your team making more of the opportunities that you have from set pieces?
Yeah. Do you know what? It's the way it's how you want to look at it. So the positive thing is that we do score goals from open play, and that's not an easy thing to do. When it comes to the set play situation, if you analyze what's happened for us on set pieces, attacking wise, we've actually been fairly dangerous. So our chance creation from set pieces is absolutely, it's probably above most of the teams we're competing with at the moment. The issue is, and it's a degree of sometimes quality, sometimes timing of players in their careers. The issue for us is when that header is a clear header on the back post or on the front post, it's to put it in. It's not been the issue is not been creating chances of set plays. We've had plenty of chances of set plays. We're actually a dangerous team on set plays. We'd like to convert a little bit more, but again, it's the same. It could be next game. That's how you have to believe, at least.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Scott, any likes?
Vincent, you say it's a strikers' league.
Yeah.
Can you expand on that a little bit for me, please?
It's just every game I'm watching. I'm not seeing a lot of defenders handling their opponents at the moment. Doesn't matter who you play. If you watch the Tottenham strikers, the amount of times they get in. If you watch every team, and I think it's good for football, but there's more runs in behind. It's also a little bit more difficult to just sit back and defend, because teams are a little bit, teams tactically understand how they need to create overloads, how they need to also keep you in, pin you in, and every team has got quite good principles of reacting when they lose the ball, recovering the ball, transition again. So that counter press, it used to be only Liverpool doing it, and then obviously City was one of the teams that was doing it as well. But now every team counter presses. So that means as well, if you just invite them to come, it's harder to get out than it used to be, even on transitions. So then, I guess by default, teams are going more aggressive and pressing higher, and they've got the profiles to do, because every player can run 12k, 12.5k, 1,200 meter high intensity, 2 to 4 to 500, some of them 600-700 meter sprint. And so, and I'm watching throughout the league, and you got teams like Bournemouth, they got guys like Solanke and Semenyo up front. You've got teams like Fulham, they've got tremendous striker, the big Mexican fella, Jimenez, unbelievable, yeah. So, but they've got like proper high quality players in up front. Wolverhampton have got Cunha and so on and so on, and the spaces get bigger, and because you have to. But the strikers are, in my opinion, of a high caliber, and you just have to look. Tomorrow you've got in that game you've got Ivan Toney up front, and Vissa and Buemo, and also we've got a few guys who can hurt the opposition team. So, but every team has that. Brighton have got Ferguson, and you keep going, and it's. I'm kind of expanding as I'm mentioning it to you now, because I do remember probably as I was playing, where teams could have an advantage defensively and exploit that. It just doesn't seem that way to me anymore. I don't know, maybe you guys will analyze it in more depth and say, look, that's not true. But when I look at every game, it seems to be that way.
So do you think the art of defending, the desire to be difficult to play and difficult to beat and be proud to keep a clean sheet, are those things perhaps waning a little bit in the Premier League?
No, absolutely not. I don't think there's a lack of desire. I don't think there's a lack of... In fact, defending now is harder, because you're defending bigger spaces. You're more often exposed yourself against these high-quality strikers. And but it's. I don't think coaches in general. If everyone does it, it means there's a reason why they're doing it, and they probably do it because the real zonal, deep defending kind of, how would I say, at this moment in time, tactics have, for many coaches, maybe not given what they wanted to, and it goes in trend. It might change again in a few years, but any team we play against now is, it's kind of full on, and and I mean it's everyone, and that's what makes this league so good. And you have to remember, my mindset is never, I'm not philosophical in that aspect. I'm just witnessing it and I'm stating what I see. Maybe you see the same thing.
I spoke to Josh Cullen this week, and he was speaking about this, trying to look beyond just this season, look at the bigger picture, the cycle of the football club, where it's at, and whether it's staying up or going down, whether it's Premier League football next season or not. It's about making this club competitive in the long term.
Yeah.
Is that quite nice to hear that from one of your players?
But I think everyone in the club understands that. You know, that's why we don't get dragged into anything other than the next game. That's all that matters. And you know, we've probably stated this. I think what we've done is we've done the right thing by stating it at the beginning of the season consistently, and in moments where we had time to reflect. But now we're in the middle of the season. I can guarantee you that the only priority for us is to make the most of the next 10 games we have, and then at the end we can always reflect again. And but probably that's why the club has been fairly just consistent and calm.
Got a really good performance on Sunday, and a good point, wasn't it, at West Ham? You're within 10 points of safety. You've got Forest to play at home. They could yet be deducted points. There's still a really interesting period to come, I think, isn't it, this season?
That's, you know, I try not to look too much at the other teams, and you know that. But I do look for. My life is like this. I look for any opportunity to do something special. And any season, you know, this season can still be that. So why throw away this opportunity? It's 10 games, and you never know. We experienced something fantastic last year, but there's absolutely no reason why the next 10 games cannot give us the same feeling back, and that's how we have to approach it.
Would that be a bigger achievement from this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Having said that, no, but do you know what? If we had came down with the parachute money, and if we had came down with the squad, I for some reason I looked at the squad planning from May 2022. I had 2 players. Let that sink in. 2 players, and we built from that. So to the point where now we have stories about why does he play or he doesn't play, but we built from having 2 players. Everybody else was leaving, and we had. You know, we managed to re-sign Jack Cork, and you know we had Goodmanson that we kept, and Jay Rodriguez, and that was it. And there was a couple of guys that were injured, and their contracts were running out. But we built from nothing with no parachute money. Yeah, that's a pretty decent achievement.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Matt. Hi, Vinny. What have you made of Brentford this season? Are you surprised they are sort of in that lower part of the division?
It's just a tough league. I've not paid too much attention to other teams in that sense, and they've missed a main striker for a long time. So we know the impact that can have.
Can I ask you about Amin Al-Dakil? Not seen much of him the last few weeks. Is he fit and
No,
available?
Injured. He's been injured since he was out of the squad. I think his last game was it Tottenham Hotspur?
Yeah, I think so.
So which was actually a really good performance, but he's just been injured.
Is he one of those ones that could be a surprise return on Saturday?
He's not on the surprise return list, no.
Obviously, after this game, you got the international break. What sort of plans do you have for those 2 weeks, 10 days, 2 weeks?
Pretty standard. You usually use the first week to maybe review the last tranche of games, last 10 games, last 8 games, and build towards the next 9. And usually during the international break, you'll always have also an eye on pre-season, all these type of things, but nothing more than normal. And then build up to Chelsea when we recover our international players.
Thanks, Matt. Just finally, before the embargo section, we'll go to PA.
Hi, Vincent. Just you're talking about that squad rebuild. A number of core players that have been here a long time, their contracts are up this summer. Have you had any conversations with them about possible renewals? Any progress on that?
Well, we'll have the conversation for sure, but the timing of it, you know, it's probably not going to be in the next 2 days, but for sure we'll have the conversation. And we've done it in the past with other players. So.
Is that something you could use the international break for, or is it something that needs to wait till the end of the season and you know the league status?
No, well, usually I use the international break to think about those issues. and then I will come with a way to handle those issues in that period of time.
Thank you.
Ask me in 2 weeks' time, and I'll have a very definite answer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right, let's move into the embargoed section.